We examined the mirror and found the moon key. We can return to the mezzanine. Or we could enter the study. Wait, enter the archives and enter the study. Now we are in the study. The Provost's study overlooked the river, joining the fog-laden horizons far below. Drawn curtains left little of his vista visible, however. Open? Yes, open the curtains. From up here, the far bank of the river was now visible, and, in those days when this tower was built, another nation. Something small and black was caught in the gables just below the window. That's interesting. Facing inward, a high-backed chair was set before an opulently decorated and furnished desk. At the opposite end of the study, a massive mirror extended from wall to wall, doubling the room. To the same scheme as the archives, the other walls consisted of vitrine cabinets lined with books. There are still books left, and I want to examine the fragment. Record fragment. A third or so fragment of a phonograph record. No label disclosing the recorded work was visible, though the last segment of the place of its manufacture was stamped near the rim of the disc. Hofoper am Rhein, the opera house in the Latin Quarter. Okay. Can I take this record? Or should I go there? I didn't take anything. Okay. Exit to the archives. And we did examine the mirror, enter the study, that we also did that, and I'd like to return to the mezzanine. Now, what did we do? We entered the archives. We could follow the hallway to the parlor or descend the stairs to the lounge. When I have it right in mind, this is where we have already been, so let's follow the hallway to the parlor. No, wait, we've already been here. Now, I have been in the mezzanine. This is where we came from, so this is maybe new. Maybe. Yes, this is new. Lounge, tower, the Provost's residence. Extending down from the vaulting in tall panes to catch the rays of the setting sun and clear, the windows in their glare cast me an open arch of light. Slanting to a small degree, the sunlight caught in emphasis the long right wall of the narrow hall to cast a mirror sheen over those many paintings canvassing it. Under the mezzanine, twin glass panel doors led into the kitchen, firmly locked. Initially mistaken for a mirror, to the right of the fireplace was a particularly large painting, depicting in near-perfect clarity the room before it. Below these was a set fireplace, armored with thick black iron bars darkened by use, and billowing out from the hearth black stains on red carpet. Let's first examine the mirror painting. A painted mirror. Though almost uncanny to stand before at some distance, the painting's illusion of reflection broke down under close examination. This also revealed another detail. The ash and soot below the painting had been disturbed, as if something had swept this detritus aside. Push it aside, yes. The painting held, as if bolted to the wall by some mechanism. Okay, so we first need to find the mechanism and activate it, and then we can maybe move the painting and find a secret room. Just guessing. Leave here. Let's examine the fireplace. I already read the pull, but let's first look at the fireplace. Using the fire iron to disturb the ashes, I investigated the debris. The fire had been fueled last with the remains of books and furniture, an act of violence or necessity. This examination also turned up another queer detail on the roof of the hearth. Judging by the disruption in the ubiquitous coat of soot, a short, bolt-like metal bar had seemingly been retraced horizontally into the wall. I'd like to pull it. The bolt slid out of the wall with a metallic thud. I guess that's the mechanism for the painting. Push aside. The painting gave away with ease, revealing a small passage leading up. I'd like to enter the passage. Circling upwards in a tight spiral to meet the loft, the surfaces of the passage were still decorated to a modest degree with wooden paneling, despite its necessarily obscure nature. Continue to loft. I'm in the hidden passage. Great. And now I'm in the loft. The arched beams of the dome met at the pinnacle in a circle of glass, open to the warm light of evening. Under this, an unlit chandelier sent the little light that crept through into shards of light across the loft, giving the room a fractured, broken quality. A tight iron staircase spiraled up from the center of the loft to meet the apex, deftly avoiding the chandelier by virtue of that fixture's inverted, inward-facing form. Below the staircase was a circular landing of unusual material, solid plate steel, with a curious segmentation seeming to suggest its motility as part of a greater mechanism. Okay, another mechanism. Ascent staircase to pinnacle. I now am at the pinnacle. The tip of the great tower, the highest point in the city, and by any measure a rival to many in Europe, was a delicate spire of glass with a steel skeleton, exposed to the dusk air. At the center of the structure was a large phonograph on an iron pedestal affixed to the staircase. The staircase and the phonograph together had such synchronicity in design and form as to feel as one device. I'd like to examine the phonograph. A phonograph of unusual size, large and with ornamental legs joining it to the staircase. The amplifying horn faced out towards the city through an opening in the pinnacle structure, and in a city as silent as this voice should carry far. The needle was locked, making the phonograph inoperable, with a device bearing the numerals XII. Okay. XII. I will note that. Maybe it's important later on. XII. That's the phonograph. Okay. Leave. I can't seem to operate it yet. Let's descend the staircase to the loft and return to the hidden passage and return to the lounge. So, what could we do now? I did this, and I already did this. So let's climb the stairs to the mezzanine again. We are in the mezzanine. We did everything of this. So let's go to the lounge again. No, wait. Oh god. Mezzanine. Let's follow hallway to the parlor and return to the staircase and descend the staircase. Okay, now we are at the landing again in the library. Let's go out, descend, and enter the hallway and examine the gate remains and step over the rubble. Now we descend to the landing and we descend to the pendulum. Great, now we are here again. Let's go here, westwards. We already entered the Lecomte building and found some things. We could continue south to the promenade, but I think we have already been here too. Let's try it out. I was here. I have also been here. We already entered the institute this way, right? Send staircase to upper landing. Yes, it's just another way into the institute that we unlocked with the sun key. Right. Let's we could try to descend the stairway to the river. That's where he came from, I guess. Yosemite Institute rear gateway. Does that the sun gate? Descend to the promenade. Okay. Let's go here, because we haven't been here for sure. Walk the promenade to Verona Square. Verona Square, Old Quarter, promenade. Just off the promenade, an intersection of two narrow avenues met in what could be considered a small square. Inscribed plainly with Verona Square, an old brass plaque set within the paving stones confirmed this. Down a shallow set of iron steps, a cramped arcade continued west. Okay, I could now enter the Mayfly Bar, or I could follow the winding alleyways to the boulevard, or I could follow the promenade back east, that's where I came from, or I could walk the arcade to the Iron Gardens. Whoa, it's a lot to choose. I'd like to go in this bar. Okay, the Mayfly Bar. Through a door ajar, a darkened flight of stairs was the Mayfly, a working-class drinkery. Never touched by the light of day, the ever too faint oil lamps provided the entirety of the lighting. A small stage was the focal point of what light there was, and cast in this dim focus lay a wreath of blue flowers. Oh, that's beautiful. I'd like to activate this memory.